Yesterday I redid the Technogym Wellness Age Assessment. So here it says, okay, we will guess, and this is the not eGym. eGym is the other company that also does something quite similar. This is the Technogym checkup. So on the left here is this display where one can view one's data, and on the right one can also view one's data, but the left is more for entries and the right is more for assessment. There are 6 categories to the Technogym Wellness Age. The first one is cardio, the second one is body, then we have mobility, balance, mind, and strength. Till yesterday, my wellness age has been 24, with my current age being 28, so it already displays the difference, which is minus 4 years. Now, of course, minus 4 years are a bigger relative change now compared to if I would be 48 and then I would have minus 4 years. The first test I redid is the mind test, so it measures 3 different things: attention, brain speed, and memory. I don't know exactly what metrics it uses here, but I retook the 3 different tests, and so what came out was 281 milliseconds in terms of attention, brain speed 63 milliseconds, and memory 11. The overall mind score increased to 72 points out of 100. I then retook the balance test, which is standing in front of this and standing on one leg and then trying to also balance the upper body. I got a score of 90 out of 100, which also was an improvement. So 19.2 seconds and 17.1 seconds in the target. My wellness age at this point already was reduced to 23. I then tested mobility. So there are a few different things it tests: neck, shoulder, hip flexion. And these are the different things it tests: shoulders, neck, hips, and ankles. I still don't quite understand how the ankles test works, but I still did it. And then after this test, my wellness age was reduced to 22. So I improved, but not so much by actually improving, but rather by basically increasing the accuracy of the test by doing it a second time, or maybe by already beginning to know the test and therefore maybe optimizing for the test, which one could argue is not really well. I then took a look at the body composition before. So here we have the body fat and so on from the last measurement, which was, or maybe even from, this is now from my Garmin Index S2, which is the scale I use at home, and this is also imported. Then I also could see height, hip circumference, and waist circumference, but these two, hip and waist, are calculated basically based on the in-body measurement. I also could see other metrics as well, similar to the Technogym app. So here we have the VO2 max test, which I recently did in the gym. So basically running on a treadmill for about, it would have been 35 minutes or something like this, but I decided to stop at 177 beats per minute. One can also enter a few blood metrics or blood parameters. These are the ones one can add. I also added them, but they seem to be not included in the BioAge calculation. So then I decided to retake the test, at least to increase the accuracy, as in the last test I did a cardiovascular workout before, which seems to reduce measured body fat as blood is more blood is in the muscles. So in the gym we have a in-body 570, and I stood on there. These now are the results. So at a weight of 87 kilograms, which was a little bit higher compared to my morning weight, mostly because I measured it in the evening, because currently I go to the gym in the evening, which is already in terms of standardization of the measurement not exactly ideal, because I basically already had eaten, I think, once before and also drank before. Then we have a skeletal muscle mass, SMM, of 41.3 kilograms, body fat mass of 8 kilograms. The weight analysis, BMI is 24.1, the fat mass is 9.9%, the basal metabolic rate, or BMR, 1.9 K calories, or KK calories, as the K in calories is already a K. Total body water, one could also maybe simply call it megacalories. Kilo, mega, I think mega is the next one. 1.2 megacalories. Total body water, 53.1 kilogram. I don't know exactly what to make of this. Fat-free mass, 72.7 kilograms, and then we have soft lean mass. I don't know what soft lean mass does refer to. I also could not find any further details in the Technogym app. And then we have a waist to hip ratio, which is automatically calculated based on these measurements. And after I stood on the in-body scale, my BioAge was reduced to 21. Now, I asked ChatGPT already what the minimum Technogym bio age would be, or wellness age, but I did not find out. It said, okay, maybe around 18, but eGym, for example, I know that the maximum reducible age that is displayed is 21, as strength is kind of not at peak at 21, but it seems to increase in the 20s even. This whole testing took me 26 minutes, maybe even 28 minutes, so I actually intended to already start the workout afterwards, but so for this reason I stopped basically the time, but then I realized that almost half an hour was gone with all this testing. Now, I also did 1 rep max tests on these machines. So these are now the kind of normal selective weight machines. I think they are called selective weight. So basically you have these stacks and then you can insert this pin. Once you insert this pin, this is recognized, and the weight, if one then logs in, so basically there are these NFC locations, and I can log in with this band I have on my wrist. And then on these small displays, I can do a 1 rep max test. So this is how I then log in. What I also found out is that, in theory at least, I could also log in with my Galaxy Watch 6, but I could not connect my Technogym account in some way to my Galaxy Watch 6. Maybe there's an app that does this and allows me maybe to load basically my my not NFC. So the watch is... So the band actually should be RFID, but the watch probably has NFC. So maybe it has both tags basically in there, I don't know. So then under tests, basically I select tests, or under the workouts I can select, or basically the things I can select, I select tests. Then I can actually only do the 1 rep max test. Then I can select the either normal pull, then right arm pull, or left arm pull. And this is true for many other exercises as well. I then can select the level, which then sets the weight. On some machines I had to select beginner, for example on the leg press, because I tried to do the leg press with kind of a very, with the feet or the legs kind of very elevated, and maybe I'm also just weak, and so I had to select beginner there, but here I selected trained. This then prescribes a workload for the 1 rep max test. It says also you should do 10 reps, and after the 10 reps are done, it then shows basically a goal sign. So I selected the 47.5 kilograms, and then if I have done the 10 reps, and it also measures whether one has done the 10 reps, because it actually measures the range of motion, one can click whether one wants to repeat with a bigger workload. In this case, for example, it then increased to 57.5 kilograms. So basically a difference of 10 kilograms in this case. I then did another increase, but unfortunately this seems to not adapt. So as I have logged basically my 1 rep max once, one could expect that the next time I do a 1 rep max test, that this also would basically match now my values, but it seems to not. So I did with 70 kilograms, I tried, but I had like 2 reps. And this calculated a 1 rep max of 79.1 kilograms. I then continued basically with all these machines. So this is now the leg curl. And here I think I had some measurement issues, because sometimes it seems that the range of motion is not properly recognized, or the stack pin is not properly recognized. And so, well, it showed in the app actually. So this is now the Technogym app. Under Wellness Passport I can find my wellness age, and here I could, in theory, I thought at least, find all of these different exercises now in the 1 rep maxes. But it seems that only the last 3 exercises or something like are shown, like this are shown, and these are shown on target, and sometimes this changes, and I don't really know what to make of this. But in the activity log, I can see basically all of these exercises I did yesterday. So I can see the balance test, I can also see the free training, which it logged. So basically it logged my 1 rep max tests on these machines, on these selective weight machines, as free training. I also already deleted basically all the ones that were kind of faultive, not faultive, but defective. They kind of just were faults, one could say. So here, what it does now log it as is that I actually have one set, and this one set was 220 kilograms. And so it does show basically just the normal set that I actually did, which is now the 55 kilograms and 4 reps. So it does not show the 1 rep max calculation in any way in this app actually. It at least seems, apart from, I think, so within the wellness age now, it does show the 1 rep max. So this is, I think, the 1 rep max it calculated. But it only shows me these values for 3 exercises, and this has been true before. So a couple of days, I had a couple of different exercises on top, and additionally, what seems to be the case is that, so first of all, in terms of now sampling this data, it took quite a little bit of time to select 1 rep max tests on all of these different machines. I wanted to do it at least once, but now I have done it. And it also is kind of a workout, because if I then select the next weight, so if I increase the load, then I already have the second set. And I usually do 3 sets on one machine, but I also usually alternate in between 2 machines, which in this case I did not do, which was also a different kind of training. So I just saw it as a different kind of training. But what also seems to be the case is if I basically do normal sets and I just track it without selecting the 1 rep max measurement, then what seems to be the case is that basically based on the sets, it also automatically calculates a 1 rep max and then updates the wellness age and updates the strength portion within the wellness age. So even though it is not displayed, my strength score actually changed yesterday, as I did a couple of exercises, and these were not 1 rep max tests, but these were on the same machines basically, and so it seems to have updated the values then. Which now for me could mean that I just train whatever I feel like or whatever is not sore, in terms of the machines at least, in addition to my normal training, which is mostly with barbells and dumbbells. And then I just have my bio age automatically updated based on the exercises I do. So basically every set is tracked, because at least if I log in with my band, but additionally, every set also contributes basically to updating my bio age. I then did a couple of these other machines as well, and basically I tried to do almost all machines. Some had no internet connection, on some I had to re-log in with my phone because the band was not assigned to the device, so it showed me some kind of error. But overall, it seems that this is a first prototype combined with, not combined, but another prototype of something like this would be the BioStrength, so the Technogym BioStrength machines, which these are not. These are just the normal gym machines, and I also do not have the kind of premium subscription which would include the BioStrength machines from Technogym, which then would give me proper 1 rep max testing, but also kind of smarter workouts. Here I can just do basically normal workouts, but I also have these displays, so these are already kind of an intermediary stage, one could say. So once I am logged in, I can also create my own exercises, it seems, and I can also have workout sessions or something like this. And I also can do the 1 rep max test. And most importantly, I can log in with my band into this machine. And then I have my weights tracked and my sets tracked, at least when it works actually. And this is at least a somewhat better answer to the question of how do I track my strength training. So recently, for example, in Garmin, so I tried tracking my weights and my sets with my watch, but then you have to remember kind of 3 things. So first of all, what exercises you did, then how many sets you did, and with which weight, and then also the repetitions. So these are quite a little bit of things. So I standardized my main workout of the day, not of the day, but of the week, and this is kind of the main workout. So this is what I usually do, and I do it 3 times a week. It takes about 30 minutes, and then on top of this, I do basically the 10 minutes that are remaining. I do machine exercises on these Technogym machines, which then I have additionally tracked. And now what I have done in the last couple of days is I tried to not track all the sets, because previously I tried and it is just too much work at this point in time. And I also tried tracking with the watch in the workouts, but this also did not. It took away cardiovascular load from the workout, which I would then need to create otherwise. I mean, I would be also more rested, but that's kind of for me not the point. I want to get through my workout, and therefore I do not track in my workout, at least as of currently. And so I figured I just track the first set, because I do drop sets and also alternating sets with often antagonistic muscle groups, such as incline bench press and then barbell back squat, which are not antagonistic, but at least they are kind of unrelated. So I can do kind of both, and only the cardiovascular system could be kind of the bottleneck here, which then also means I train the cardiovascular system. Garmin also does have their fitness age, but it's mostly a cardiovascular age combined with a body composition age, but these are kind of the only 2 subcategories it has. Since I do measure myself every morning, with a Garmin Index S2, which is their body composition scale. I do have basically this fitness age updated in Garmin, but it is usually 18 unless I do not measure myself on the scale, or unless there are some synchronization issues, and then it just says I'm overweight, because it assumes that I have basically the weight I have, but it then does not have the additional information of my body fat percentage. I then also tried these plate loaded machines, which one can also enter at least, and then also have a 1 rep max calculated, but it seems to not contribute, I think, or maybe it does contribute also to the wellness age, but at this point I don't know. I still have to try. But what I also realized is that stacking or loading these plates onto these machines, even though these machines are great, it's just a lot of time. So basically it doubles how much, or it halvens how many sets I can do. Overall, similar to the eGym BioAge, which I also try to update weekly. What I will be trying with the Technogym BioAge, which is now the BioAge that's available in the current gym I visit, is to maybe update all of these tests, maybe the mind test, also the mobility test and the balance test. So these 3 basically, maybe once a week. I don't know if I will do or will continue to do the body composition tests at the gym, because, well, I can only optimize for either a workout in which I am fueled, so I already have eaten and I'm also properly hydrated, or I can optimize for basically standardized body composition measurements, which ideally would happen in the morning fasted. And since I currently train in the evening, the question is whether the variability of such method of measurement is kind of even useful then. It's not the variability that is useful, but it's basically then too much for this to be a standardized measurement then. And in terms of the strength, the solution I kind of already now have found is that I will just do my normal sets, basically the last 10 minutes of my workout when I strength train, or also on cardiovascular days, maybe just an additional 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and then it will automatically update the strength age. In terms of cardio, I already wrote the developers of this app, so the Technogym app support, whether they could pull in the Garmin VO2 max estimate, because this updates automatically whenever I run outdoors, whereas this year I have to update with a special VO2 max test, which is basically running on a treadmill. One can also do sub-maximal tests, but because I wanted to also be a workout, because I cannot just test all the time without working out. So the test needs to be a workout, and the workout needs to be a test simultaneously, just like with the strength tests on these machines. So on the elliptical, one can do a sub-maximal test, but no maximal test. So this means it does not go to zone 4 or 5, but it only goes to like zone 3 or something like this. Then I also tried to do a VO2 max test on the Stairmaster, but because I already had done strength training in the 30 minutes before, my heart rate was just too high already, and so it just was very slow. So here one can do different fitness tests. One is the VO2 max test, but it is again a sub-maximal test. So in terms of Garmin training load, what this would result in these 10 minutes, probably because it does not hit the 7 minutes, at least the elliptical do not, is probably like 0.5 Garmin aerobic effect, which is not really something I would include in my regular workouts. So the only thing I would do is on the treadmill, basically do this sub-maximal test. This is now not the screenshot or photo picture from the treadmill, but I did this once and it came out 2 points higher at 59. And so that's kind of what the input to this wellness age currently is. Of course, now it would be sad if it goes down again. It also seems to be the case that VO2 max estimates go up if I run first thing in the morning, so basically fasted and before my first meal, because then the power to weight ratio is the best. And also my neural drive is kind of the best. But since I'm currently kind of running after the first meal or even the second meal, sometimes the third meal or the last and final meal, my VO2 max has been kind of stagnating, and also probably because I'm slow and so on and so forth. And maybe my actual VO2 max is going down and not just the estimate.